This is Steve, aka Esteban Precio with the SRP channel. Today we're going to give this Chrysler 200 some much needed love. Not that it hadn't been taken care of, but sometimes they need a little TLC. And this one's a 2012. It's my son's girlfriend's car, and we're going to give it right now a little bath. The reason we're bathing it is because we're going to redo the headlights. But the main thing we're going to do, this is a secondary job, we're going to redo the headlights, and I'll show you that process with the 2K Max spray. This is that is a two-part hardener, so you basically inject the hardener into it, and it activates it, and then you have like 30 minutes to 45 minutes to spray on the headlights. Works really well. It's like an OEM type deal. So, but the main reason we're here, Napa gave us this Happy Fun Pack, is I think what they call it. It has a serpentine belt, tensioner, and 2 pulleys. The Chrysler, when it started up at various times, would scream like a stuck pig. I mean, just make some awful sounds. I thought it was the alternator at first, bearing, but it looks like it's one of the pulleys. So I went to Napa just to get a couple of the upper and lower pulley assemblies. And the salesman there is like, well, for that car, we actually have, for $95, this little, they called it the Chrysler Happy Fun Pack, because they call it the Happy Fun Pack because they said putting on serpentine belts, pulleys, tensioner, that's a tensioner there, in that kind of space is so much fun. They call it the Happy Fun Pack from Napa. I don't know if I believe that or not, but anyways, that's what we're going to be working on today. That's why we're doing it old school in the driveway. It's just been about a week, and the little squirrels have moved in. They like the heat of the engine, even if it's not even winter time, really. So I opted for the little ramps for this, for doing this pulley install. Get the car all good and washed up. It actually is, clear coat's better than I thought. We washed it real good, but did a really good pre-soak, 10-minute pre-soak, just to try to not damage the clear coat, and or getting washed up real good. So, but actually the clear coat's in better shape than I thought it'd be. It just needs a good little protectant of some sort. Okay, so when I was trying to figure out what was wrong, I was at first thought it was the alternator, maybe. Then I thought it was the steering pump, but then I noticed the upper, that third pulley down there, you can barely notice, is hanging off the pulley about a 1/4 inch. Then when you actually idle it, it's like kind of wobbly, like the bearing, and I think that's all the noise coming from. That's what I'm hoping. So I was going to just replace it, but you know, and then I was like, well, that's the upper one, might as well do the lower, and then at that point do the whole thing. And that's when I used the little kit from Napa. Slowly she goes. Okay, so we had a change of plans here. Realized that taking the front tire off is definitely going to be the way to go with the front wheel. So jacking it up, and if you see here, these are the jack points here. You can't actually tell because of the molding. Chrysler did that little inset right there, so that means that's a jack point. So I'm gonna get actually, you can stop. So I'm actually gonna get a different one. Can you hand me one of the one with the red top? Okay. Actually use a different stand here. See how V that is? You gotta be careful with stuff like that because that can actually go up a little subframe there. So that one has a little more shallow. I like to use that one if I can because it is 3-ton rated, but so just boom. And see we have 1-2 notches there. And then get it right there where the little jack support is. Okay, so see what I mean by the V. If that other one would have come up probably too far and possibly damaged a little subframe. But then I got my big Craftsman jack. After everything is up and supported on the jacks, also put the jack or the floor jack back under it. Just for safety. Safety first. Safety first. Okay, so I just loosened up the lugs with a 3/4 inch bit or socket bit or socket or 19 millimeter. I think, but usually I just use a 3/4 because I have my impact sockets. But I noticed in videos, this is a dying bird. That beautiful sound too. Everybody's going electric. I mean, does that not sound awesome? Sometimes you just for the sound of the air pneumatic ones. So I bought, this is a Craftsman that I bought when I was in high school, almost 35 years ago. I've not even ever replaced any seals or anything on it, knock on wood. But okay, so getting the all the little tabs out here to get the splash guards out, or what's left of them. So this one is supposed to have a splash guard all the way across the front bezel there, and there's not. It's just this one here. So the splash guards, a little rant here, splash guards are important. So this one might have been knocked off when it was wrecked and not put back on, but they actually do serve a very good function. I mean, you can see in a rainstorm, water can just get right up there, flood the engine out real easy. Any kind of road debris, misspelled that. Any road debris that you hit goes right up in there and can really do damage. So that's my little rant. If you can, take off all your guards carefully on the little tabs. Have the correct little tool. That helps, and save them here in your little bin where you remove everything as you're going along. Okay, does anybody know what that is on the doors? That's a little flapper doodle. That's a flapper thingy, doodle flopper thingy. And it should be clear because it's for the little drainage of the doors. So this is the bottom side of the door, and every door will have that. Have these. You just want to make sure they stay clear. If you get water inside the door, you want those. That's where they drain all the water and debris drains out and keeps your door from rusting. So, but we live in North Texas. That's not as much of an issue. But for those of you up north, including myself, I was born in Ohio, but I moved to Texas pretty quickly after that. But you're going to have a lot of rust, and watching those things will help, prevent the rust from building inside the door. The trunk will also have them. Okay, this test will confirm whether you are a motorhead or a gearhead or car guy, all kinds of terminologies for it. If this sound and the smell of burning rubber would put you to sleep at night, then you are a motorhead, aka car guy. Okay, so what I thought was the upper pulley that's coming off the belt right here, that one, that's actually the tensioner right there, because you can see right here, that's actually the tensioner part. But you see how it's coming off? I think that part was actually one making a noise on there. So either way, it's getting replaced. So I was gonna do a high yaw and then cut it like one swell, but I'm not sure. I thought it'd be funny if I went hi yaw and then cut this belt real quick, but I actually need two hands to do it. It's a pretty tough belt. Gosh, there we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry, that was not as impressive as I thought it'd be. But the tensioner is really messed up, and instead of pulling it out, there I just cut the belt because we're going to replace it. And yes, Mom, I took a picture of it before I cut it. So I am not a mechanic. I'm an electrician. Damn it! These mistakes are going to happen. Okay, so got all the old parts off. So I think this is where the rattling was coming from on this connection here, bearings on that. So this is the new parts. I just removed stuff, and then I realized that the pulleys that they have, one of them's about 5 millimeters wider than the other, and so I had to go look up on the parts, and the smaller one goes on top, bottom on the lower, and then of course the tensioner has this little pin here, thank goodness, so you don't have to worry about that. That was similar to this right here to hold it open. So we shast install these bad boys. So I don't mean to veer off topics very often. I am kind of ADD on things, but for anybody who works a lot on cars, they experience this. This is a 2012. This is a little over 10 years old. All the wiring loom is in really good condition. Here you can see, I mean, look, there's no brittleness to it. It's in the engine compartment. If anything, that would be getting brittle right there on top of the engine. Shout out to Dodge Chrysler for their good quality wire loom. My 2017 Chevy Express van needs all new wire loom, and it's disintegrating. My previous Chevy truck, I had to literally replace every bit of the loom on the 09 within about 10 years of owning it. So shout out to Dodge Chrysler. Boo GM. Let's do something about the wire loom situation, okay? My wife actually said I need a mani. Can you believe that? Okay, so I put the new tensioner on first. You have to do that and then put the other pulley, upper pulley on because the bolt's behind it. But I'm just checking the other pulleys. I don't know if you can see that. That actually has a wobble, has it like it's like a shaft is bent. It's spinning nicely. I mean, there's good tension to it. I mean, that has a healthy spin. There's no noise, but that shaft has a slight bend to it. All the other ones seem fine to me. This is the power steering, and then the water pump is back there. AC, I can't really tell with that because that the AC clutch isn't engaging, so it's not really. It's hard to tell for me if that's good or not. But so we'll get everything back. I might get on the Google machine and see about that bent shaft. Okay, so we're about to put the serpentine belt on. That's what I think why they call it the Happy Fun Kit is because of the part that I'm about to do. I'm not sure, but I'm about to find out. So what I did was I just Googled or screenshot it, or Googled the pulley configuration for this car, and then just did a screenshot on my phone of the belt diagram. I did take a picture, of course, but I think it's actually easier just to diagram, get one of those little pictures, and do it from it on the. One thing you want to do before you start is get the belt unfolded, basically no twist, because it's been in the packaging kind of twisted around. So let it kind of sit out like this and relax it a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is stuff it down that direction right there and start wrapping the pulleys. Okay, so that screeching sound is still made. They said it was a bad alternator, but I saw one of the pulleys moving around. I really thought that might have been the source of the noise, but it looks like the alternator is going to need to be replaced because it still screeches. So I wouldn't plan on doing that now, but everything is open. Obviously, this is the alternator here, so we're going to get going and go ahead and do that. First thing I'll do is disconnect the ground. Okay, so the first step when you're doing this is to the AC compressor has got to be loosened to get the alternator out around it. So loosen it first, and then start disconnecting all the stuff to the alternator. That's really the easiest way to do it. The compressor can hang on its lines for a little while. It's not going to hurt it or leak. So, and also you have to remove the two pulleys to get a couple of the bolts out. And the 13 millimeter, I normally don't say the size, the AC compressor is 3 long bolts holding it on, and then just a couple 16 mil on the alternator, and of course the alternator control line. Okay, got a shiny, happy alternator from Napa, about $225 with the core exchange. And the other one did have the, as I showed you, yeah, I really think that was what was shrieking in there. Hopefully that was it. If anything, this was definitely going to go bad with that shaft like that. So I'm going to get everything back in over here. The hardest part will be actually getting this held up. That's almost a two-person deal. Getting this held up in place while the first bolt is put in. It weighs 25 pounds. So that will be here in just a minute. I think that's it. The music today has been primarily by KTXT 91.7 Music Shuffle. Actually, usually I will listen to Tidal or some playlist on that, but I've had the radio. It's a really good radio station in Dallas-Fort Worth, 91.7. That has been the inspirational music for this Chrysler 200 Voyage that you are joining me on today. Okay. So, what I'm about to do is, with the help of Lori, I'm going to, this alternator weighs about 25 pounds, push it head straight up, and then hold it in place while she goes and puts the top nut in, and then it'll just hang here and I can finish up everything else. That's the plan. Oh my gosh, once again I feel like I've been raped by a gang of honey badgers. So you got to get this belt all the way around. That was actually easy on this because you just drop it down and could get it all around there. but then the last pole goes around this belt here. I was trying to get it, and my wife came out here and got down in here and actually muscled it on, and I'm very proud of her. She didn't want to be videoed, I don't think, though. But wow, that's good here. So now I get the pin out of the tensioner. You know, I was thinking if I removed the pin out of the tensioner, that I could pull more tension out of the deal, but I don't think so. Either way, Lori got it. Yes, Eureka! I don't know if that's the right word or not, but that's awesome. That noise was definitely the alternator. And we got two new pulleys, tensioner, belt. And that serpentine belt was so easy to put back on. Okay, this is the end of the video. I ran out of time to do the clear coat, but actually I'll just do another day on a separate video. I don't know how much demand there'll be for that. There's quite a few videos out there. Not many people actually will use like a two-part clear coat, but it's a lot simpler than people think. But I hope this was helpful some way. But this car is definitely freshened up, much safer now. 140,000 miles on it, so it's going to be a lot more reliable and not break your eardrums. So thank you for watching, and if this was helpful or even not, please like and subscribe. Thank you.